Now, DJ Clark Kent.
Here it is. Thank you for fixing that.
The legendary.
You like DJ in front.
No, I am a DJ first.
Right.
So
I am a DJ too, but I've taken the DJ off because I also do other things.
I understand that. I do everything that I do, and I'm still DJ Clark.
It's God's favorite DJ.
Now, that goes without question. But the reason why I don't take DJ off
Have you talked to God?
100%.
And God told you.
Without question.
He put you over
If you
Jazzy
said a prayer-
Jeff.
If you said a prayer, but prayer to a God that wasn't Jewish.
My God would still go Jazzy
and-
Jeff on
no,
it.
Your
he
God
wouldn't
is
say-
Jewish.
No, my God is God.
No, God is Jewish. He's in
But-
the Old Testament.
Is Jesus not your God?
Jesus isn't God. Jesus is
God's son. Come on, son.
Oh, Jesus.
Like
is,
Nas.
But he's also God.
Nas.
That's what throws me off with these weird Christians. Is he a God? Is he a son?
I know,
Is he a
because sometimes
ghost?
it's like go
Who is he?
God, and sometimes he's God's son.
Anyway, but my thing is I don't take DJ off of Clark Kent because no matter what I've done, it's because I'm a DJ that I've been able to do everything.
Touche, Clark Kent. DJ Clark Kent.
But we're friends. You call me Clark all the time.
I
So
call him Clark.
So, Clark,
yes.
you are one of the. I mean, you've got a million. There's a lot to get to with you, but before we get to the, I don't even want. We're not going to really have time for much sneaker talk. I mean, I know we have to plug the event.
Wait. Before we go any further, I want to make sure that you tell them about the charity thing that you're doing at the show.
Okay. You want to do that now?
Sure. Get close to the mic and tell us quick.
All right. So
I want to hear about this. I
there's-
love charity. I'm for the kids.
There you go. So there's a Soul for Souls charity. Have you heard of that before?
I have.
Oh, Andre's thing.
That's Andre from
No,
Atrium.
that's not
no?
Andre.
No.
No, sorry. I was thinking of something else.
it's
Sorry.
not-
More
it's-
beef.
it's-
More beef.
From the soul.
Yes, that's from the Soul.
Yeah. You're soul for soul.
It's
You ever heard of Soul to Soul? However do you want it?
Nice. Jazzy and H.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's right.
It's basically we focused on the whole Haiti situation because a lot of kids don't have footwear there and they can't go to school without footwear.
Oh,
And
really?
usually where they go to schools where they get fed and where they get looked after. So
They can't go to school without footwear.
that's true.
That's
yes.
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
That's the key to the fucking system.
It's
You gotta have
nuts.
shoes. That's crazy.
Well, you gotta have. I think it's. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the politics of all that, but we know that we want to help them. You know, so there was an ASIC shoe that we produced 2 years ago. It's called the Super Green. It was very limited. We made 800 pairs. 500 of them were sent down to Haiti. I sent one of my guys, one of my staff, to actually seed the shoes out, and those shoes became sought after, and we kept a bunch aside for charitable events such as the Sneaker Expo on September 21st, and we're going to raffle out a pair, and the money that we get is going to go straight to that fund. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so we're doing that, and the Adidas Project is also a charity involved. It's for the 9/11 memorial. The concept behind the shoe is the NYPD uniform, and we're going to give $15,000 out of the proceeds to the 9/11 Memorial Fund, which goes to the victims' families who passed. So, yeah, we're trying to give back. You know, it's the sneaker thing has.
You gotta
been,
kiss back.
No.
No.
Nope. Didn't work out.
I don't know what you mean by that, but we
Like
tried.
kick back or give back.
Oh,
but like kick,
kick
you gotta kiss
back.
Yeah,
back.
no, I got it. I just didn't like it.
Was it good? You got it.
I got it fully.
Was it good?
That's very cool. Clark Kent,
Yes, sir.
first of all, do you ever age? Why are you still so young? I'm pretty sure you're 53 years old.
I am the way that I am because I love what I do, and I believe that if you love what you do, you don't age.
But are you, true or false, you were 65 years old?
I don't think my age matters right now.
So let's start at the beginning. Where did the hip hop story for Clark Kent begin?
It began before the term hip hop. The term hip hop.
See, that's how I knew he was
The
53.
term hip hop started like in about 78, 79, but I was DJing since like 76.
That's impossible that you've been DJing.
Actually, like 75. I learned how to DJ in 75.
But you were like 5 years old.
No, I was a little older.
76.
Yeah, I was.
And
a
you
little
were
older.
playing what?
Disco, what would be R&B, what would be soul, and a little bit of rock. I learned how to DJ in 75. By 77, I was playing
Out?
effectively out. Clubs, parks. Well, parks really. Parks and house parties.
Wow, so my original joke of how old you were was not that far off. Let's do the math. You look phenomenal, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
That's God's blessing.
That's really impressive.
And pretty decent food.
So who taught you to DJ? And where was this? In Brooklyn.
Yeah, in the Bronx actually.
Originally in the Bronx.
Yeah, my uncle lived in Edenwald. And
Cypher, where's Edenwall?
in the
Northeast.
Bronx.
Northeast BX? Isn't that where Funk Flex from?
It's the top of the X.
Flex is neighborhood kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, Flex is near Allerton. He's from near Allerton, right?
I don't know. He shouts Edenmore a lot.
Well, Edenwall.
Slick Rick.
Yeah,
Slick
he's
Rick from there?
up
Chuck
yeah.
Chill Out?
DST is like from blocks away.
Okay.
And he had a DJ set in his house, but it wasn't a DJ set to him. It was just a really good sound system, and he allowed me to touch it. Pause. And
Is your uncle?
my uncle,
You lived in the Bronx?
no, he did, but I used to stay with
I
him.
will want to say there's no better a pause than my uncle allowed me to touch it. Like when you think about everything it
But I
means.
said pause.
No, you did. It was just had you not, it would have been
My uncle
iconic.
allowed me to use the sound system. Sorry. And,
What kind of turntables was it?
one was a Dual and one was a BIC. And he wasn't using it for mixing. He was just an audiophile, but he had everything that it took. And when I was like 4 or 5, I used to put the needle in the groove of records at my grandmother's house. And to me, the energy of a record starting every time I put a needle in a groove was like practically electric. I felt like I was doing something. So I didn't know that one day I was going to be behind a DJ set playing records, but I knew every time I put a net or needle in a groove, it
Felt something.
it was some other shit. And to me, it was all I wanted to do. So I kept doing it, and I did it in front of him, and he didn't say, no, don't touch his system, because the system was like out of this world. You know what I'm saying? But
But you know what the crazy part is too? Is that probably sound-wise, it's still out of this world.
No, it is, because he had, like, when I tell you he had audiophile shit, like if you knew anything about audiophile stuff back in the days, he had.
Oh, he said you don't know shit.
No. I'm saying in general, if
listeners.
people knew. Yeah, like he had 7-foot infinity speakers. Like infinity speakers were 7 feet tall. They had 9 drivers and 23 high-end
That was
speakers.
in the crib?
In his crib.
Why? Just he liked listening to music?
Yeah, because he was a lawyer and he had paper.
Yo, see, but this is
But
also...
he wasn't a DJ.
He wasn't a DJ.
He just liked
and
his
he had
music to
Bose,
sound.
You remember 901s? Bose 901s, the direct reflecting speakers? No. Sorry.
They did-
No, I was never into really.
there?
No, I was
Yeah,
just never into like sound equipment like
Oh.
that.
Yeah, I was never into speakers like that
he
either.
had that stuff in his crib, and that, like to have it in your house was like.
Well, where
mind-blowing.
was it? Where did it belong? Like in a store or
it belonged
in clubs?
In people who had tons of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
And this is the,
mansions.
Yeah, like he spent money on his sound system.
but this
in
is
his crib.
this
like,
is
in
near the
Edenwall.
pinnacle.
Right.
This is near the pinnacle of when people used to spend real money on stereo systems, right? Like I think
You had no choice.
I think by the early '80s, like it was every family had that nice stereo in the house.
You had-
and I always compare that to now, in which no one has a stereo anymore at all.
What? You got laptops?
I know this is good. I have a pill.
I just opened my new pill yesterday.
Oh, it is
Bigger one, the black one.
Oh, it's bigger?
Pause. Big black one. Pause.
Big black pill. No, listen. No disrespect to the Beats pill. Obviously, it's a fine product, but when you're
No, there's
when you're
nothing like a-
comparing it to a stereo,
Yeah.
like I can't wait to get a place that's just slightly bigger than mine. Like I need one more bedroom at least, like a bigger living room, to have a stereo.
I've
house.
never not had a stereo.
a real. So you right now have set up in your home. You have a
have-
receiver and a CD player, a component,
I have a full sound system.
turntable.
But like,
Your decks connected to it. Both of them or just one?
I have 2 sound systems.
But
in
is
my
it-
house.
is
Right.
it
I
for the
figure a
house?
DJ one.
Yeah.
like I don't know if you're married or whatever, but can your lady turn it on and use it? Like, is it?
Absolutely.
Can she play Sade on a Saturday?
Absolutely.
It's not complicated.
No.
It's not like
It's
a
like a
mixing
stereo.
board.
It's like a stereo.
Stereo, but it's really, really nice.
Well, I would hope so. You're DJ Clark Kent, for God's sake.
Absolutely.
So you got the okay. So, anyways, so that's how you get started.
Right.
And at what point do you get your own stuff and start collecting yourself?
In 1977, when the blackout happened, I was a block away from Music Factory. And wait, 77. Yeah. This is enough years go by, so statute of limitations means I could tell the story and not go to jail.
I can't wait to hear this.
Stole my first turntables out of that store.
Make a call. Make a call. Sipes calling.
That's where
Keep
we're at
going.
with
We'll
it.
finish it up. No, we'll finish it up in a second.
We're
So,
Spanish.
wait, what-
Site for Spanish. You're not supposed to call.
No.
Was it already open? Was it like already busted
Well,
into?
it was already busted into, and me and
That's
my-
hard to resist.
me
I'm
and
not
my
gonna lie, it's
cousin-
hard to resist.
I didn't
The
break it.
crazy part is that nobody was taking that, and it was this big wooden, like, what would look like a coffin to somebody else was really just this big thing that held the turntables and a mixer, and it was on wheels. So it was like a DJ's dream.
No.
So
In 77,
we
they
just
had a
rolled
DJ set up in there?
yeah, it was a store that sold DJ equipment and records. That was like the first place I bought a record was Music Factory.
Before or after you stole their turntables?
Oh, that was way before I
Where's
took the
Music Factory?
turntables out of it was on Eastern Parkway and Utica Avenue.
Was.
Yeah, it was.
And after that,
That
they had
took a
no-
bad hit. It took a
They
bad hit.
insurance, took their insurance, moved to Long Island.
Nah, they came back.
They
and,
did?
You know, of course, we still went in there and bought records, but they didn't know that a block and a half away was their.
Their turntables.
Hey, man.
No, the whole
Hey.
hood. To be clear, the whole hood
Right.
got something
You got
out of
something
Music
out of there.
Factory because the guys who owned it were like assholes. So it was almost
Hey,
like you
listen,
wanted-
blackout, man.
It was
Blackout.
Everything
It's
was
the
free.
ebbs and flows.
Fair game.
Everything was free.
So you were already. When did you move to Brooklyn?
Oh, I lived in Brooklyn.
Oh, but you
since
just.
I was 2 months old.
Oh, gotcha. It's
But
just
I
your
used to
uncle's
stay
house
in
was
the
in the Bronx.
Yeah.
You used to stay with
Yeah,
them.
absolutely.
All right, so you take your turntables. You have the record collection building.
Yeah.
You're practicing.
Uh-huh.
What was your first gig out?
When you say my first gig, what do you mean? The first
Anything like playing in front
no,
of kids.
I
like,
played a bunch of times before. I mean, by all of that, I played a lot of house parties. Like,
were you in the park at all?
yeah, but like
How'd you plug into the lamppost? Who plugged you in?
Oh no, like I usually played on someone else's sound system. Like, but the big moment for me was Lincoln Terrace Park, and I was 12, and Grandmaster Flowers was DJing. That's the original Grandmaster. It was Grandmaster Flowers.
He's the first grandmaster.
Absolutely,
Facts.
100%.
You hashtag it.
No, I
He's
don't
from
need to
Brooklyn?
do all of that. Yeah,
What makes a person a grandmaster?
the name he took the name Grandmaster. The first dude DJ with the name Grandmaster was Flowers.
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster Flowers. Yes,
Where's the what does the flowers mean?
that was
What's
his last name.
No, just literally. his
Yes,
last name.
DJ Flowers was his name, but he became Grandmaster Flowers.
Who was the first Grand Wizard? I mean, not Ku Klux Klan. I'm talking about in hip hop. Theodore was the first one.
Mhm.
I got to interview Theodore so bad and be like, "Were you just a big fan of the Klan?" Were you like, "I don't like what they stand for, but the name Grand Wizard is so tight, I'm taking it."
I swear, every time I watch one of you guys' interviews, I try to figure out how do they go in the direction they go. But just like seeing it happen live is crazy.
All right, so the original.
Grandmaster Flowers.
He
was
gave you a
playing at
shot to
Lincoln
get
Terrace
on?
Park. Yeah, he was playing in Lincoln Terrace Park, and you know I'm 12. We're at the park. It's a block and a half away from my crib, but I went to see every DJ everywhere because I wanted to be a better DJ, and I was just standing. And I snuck behind the barricade and just watched him. And he was like, "You're the guy from Union Street." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he says, "I heard you, so you're really trying to be DJ?" And I'm like, "Yes." You know, like no fear, no anything. And he goes, "Is that what you want to get on?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, no fear." I'm like, "Yes." And I'm figuring he's gonna let me play 2 records and that'll be it. And I'm like, "I'm good." But I'm good because I got on at a Grandmaster Flowers jam in Lincoln Terrace Park where there's 500 people going crazy. So I figure if I do it properly, first record was Frisco Disco. I kill it.
Boom.
I'm hype. I'm about to get off. He goes, "Keep going," and he lets me play for an hour.
Shit.
So
His
I
records?
played, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he's just letting you use his
He
crate.
just letting me play, and I'm playing, and he's going like, "I can't believe this young boy can play the way he plays." So
And you were
that
already
was-
blending. You were already on point. You looked at me like I was bonkers.
You see, you have to understand, like when I learned how to
Visual
DJ,
podcast.
when I learned how to DJ, there wasn't the scratching thing happening. You know what I'm saying? You had to know how to mix records, and Grandmaster Flowers was like the master of mixing records.
What was
Those 70s records were so off.
Absolutely, and they were all
It's all
live
live
drummers.
instrumentation.
Coked up
Yeah.
musicians. It's like.
who's Frisco Disco? What's Frisco Disco?
Well, actually, wait a minute. No, Frisco Disco. I played in Lincoln. I didn't play that in Lincoln Terrace Park. I played that in Kingston Park and Wingate Park. Everything all right?
Is that the right record?
No, that's not Frisco.
Disco
Disco was the first record I played in
You ever heard of,
in Kingston Park.
Mona
I
Lisa?
think.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun. It's that.
Frisco Disco.
Yeah, that's Frisco Disco.
But Frisco Disco is the artist.
No, it's just a song.
Song title?
Yeah,
Sorry, I know I'm playing
I
myself.
think it's about disco in Frisco.
yeah. Anyway,
That makes sense.
that's
So-
basically what happened.
So during this era, which is a hard era, as we said, to blend records in,
Right.
it still is. Like if you're trying to play them now, it's a pain in the ass. Especially since I got into 45s, all hardcore, and I'm playing a lot of 70s records. Woof.
Right.
Some are fucking terrible. What anyone give you any real
No way that
gems?
it's your blending skills.
What'd you say?
There's no way that it could be. your
Absolutely
blending.
not. It's 100% the records.
Okay.
Every time I blend it, it should be right. But for some reason, the 45s always get off. But were there
Damn
any?
45s.
I know. Did anyone give you any tips that like really made you understand how to blend? Like, what do you think of when you blend a record?
I don't want my phone
Do you-
on this fucking camera. You know what I'm saying?
Do you match snares first? Like, what? Do you have any original things that were your?
It's getting deep.
It's DJ Clark Kent.
Deep.
What I do, which I hope most DJs do, is I don't play a record unless I've listened to it. So once I listen to a record, I count bars, I count sections, I figure everything
Naturally.
out. Yeah, I naturally figure everything out on the record. So if I put a record on and it's a 4-bar count or 4 bars until the beginning of the real part of the song, then I know where I'm going to be mixing this song from somewhere else. And as far as keeping something on beat, that's purely feeling. Back in the days, it came from feeling and knowing how to move
No,
a
you just
record.
press sync on your Serato.
It's funny because I've heard about that,
You
but
could do that?
I don't even know what
I
that
never
is.
used it. I didn't either.
I don't know what it is, but
That matches the BPMs, right?
No, I mean I know what it is, but I don't know how to do it.
I don't know how to do it either. But
I like my mixing to be a little sloppy. You know what I'm
Needs to
I
be a
don't know
little
if I
sloppy.
like it to be sloppy. I'm not going to say that, pause. But,
saying?
you know, like I come from the era of actually knowing how to mix, not just slamming records together. I come from, you better know how to play. And every time I put a record on, I hear Grandmaster Flowers saying, you better know how to play. I hear Pete DJ Jones saying, you better know how to play. I hear DST and Larry Levan saying, you better know how to play. And the most important thing I learned of everything is when I met Larry Levan. This is like just as the garage was about to open. Like he said, you gotta love the music more than you love playing. And the thing is, I remembered back when he said that, I remembered back when I would put the needle in the groove when I was like 5. And that's what I loved. I loved the music. So I love the music more than I love DJing. So I play with an amount of love. I don't play with,
I wish
I'm
I
a
was-
DJ and I can get some money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's true nowadays.
Safe?
yeah, which is true. I've never played like that. I mean, and if you check back into my history, like, there's no one who could say, "Oh, he played like he was getting the money." Like I'm never gonna.
Well,
play
you play parties that make sense for you to play.
No, I play wherever, whenever, except I play the way I play. I don't play the way somebody says, "Oh, you walk into a club and they say it's top 40." I don't care what your club
But
is.
does that mean? Does that mean? And try to be as forthcoming as possible here, not the Brooklyn dude that you are. That has to mean there are circumstances in which it doesn't turn out great.
Nah, I've never had that issue.
You've
See, to
never
me,
played at a party and the crowd there wants to hear douche music and you play really good music and it just doesn't work the way you want it to?
absolutely not, because I believe the
You
DJ.
believe that, Saif?
No.
I believe the DJ controls the party, and if you don't, then you're not playing hard enough.
But sometimes, okay, for example,
So, but you don't play top 40?
I play what I want to play, and I play from my heart. So even if there's top 40,
you play the
yeah.
right top 40.
No,
you find a way to
I
play.
just- I just play records well. You know what I'm saying? Like I've said this to you a long time ago. I said you play records well. I told you that a long
have.
time ago. It's because you do play records well.
He does.
So it's not what you play, it's how you play it. And if you play it like you care, it's gonna come off different. Like I don't play records that I don't like. It's just not gonna happen. And I don't
The crowd wants it?
the crowd is going to want what I'm doing to them. And that's the way I approach every party. If I come there to kill parties, you're going to like whatever I do. Otherwise, I'm not commanding the control of a crowd like I believe I do. I walk into parties with a chip on my shoulder. You know it. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody knows that. I walk in like, oh, I'm going to kill shit. So no matter what, I have to kill shit. Like I come from the age of you better get busy. I don't come from
Where
the
does
age.
that come from?
That comes
Like
from
kill mentality.
It's not a kill mentality. It's a go in and do your job properly because you cannot have your job tomorrow. That's not the case now.
That comes with who? From who? The other DJs you learn from? Or?
Yeah, that comes
Or is
from
that like
that
from
comes
your
from,
family?
That comes from
no matter what you do.
Nah, that comes from Larry Levan playing a party and I lost my mind one night. Like I can't believe he's doing these things. And it wasn't like he was the greatest mixer. It's just that he was playing
You don't have
records.
an off night, Clark? Like you just it's like you don't have an off night, it's kinda whack.
If I have an
You're
off
just
night,
playing songs.
If I have an off night, you can't tell. I'll know within myself that I off night, but it's because of a feeling before the night started, or like if something changes my mood while I'm playing. But I'll still give the crowd what they supposed to get.
See, I have nights that happen where, and I don't think I've had a lot of nights where I felt it was a dud. I adapt pretty well, But I do have nights, even last week on Friday when I played, the master joint on the mixer wouldn't play. So you could only listen in queue on both sides. and the speaker for the DJ booth was facing out to the dance floor. It wasn't for me. At which point I only do blends that I'm absolutely 1,000% confident in. Besides that, I'm just cutting and transitioning really quick.
Right.
So it kind of can take me out of it, make me feel like it's not my best performance.
I come from the age of mixes that didn't have crossfaders.
Well, that is a different animal.
So if that's your only issue,
then you got no problems
try
at all.
cutting and scratching on mixes with
a knob.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do
I
that.
remember you cutting in the tunnel on the
right.
knobs.
A lot of people do.
It just hit me.
You know what I'm saying?
You saw him do that?
Saw it.
How do you even do that?
I don't know who's better, him or Riz.
You adapt.
You want to have an all knob DJ battle?
Lex is nice too with the knobs.
Pause.
Lex is nice with the knobs though.
Yo, what do you do? What's the logic between? How do you do that?
The logic is
Because it takes so long to turn
turn it on, then you got to turn that other one off.
It you know what it is? It's doing it. If you're doing it, you know how to do it. But if you come from that era, like that's nothing. Like every club had a Yuri or a Rain mixer, so that's just what you had to do. They didn't build a crossover part until other mixers started getting in clubs, and they were like, "Oh, we gotta get in there with them." So they built a crossover.
Is there
section.
any advantage to scratching, not mixing, scratching with a knob mixer?
advantages?
Yes.
Hell no.
Okay, good. But blending, you would say you prefer it? For blend, do you prefer it?
Yeah, a blend is going to sound 1,000 times
It always
better
sounds better,
on,
right?
on a
The
mixer.
knobs are fantastic for the blend.
Yeah, because the
Literally, the amount of
gradual-
control you have is amazing.
gradual change is amazing.
Okay, so when do you go? There's so much of your shit that will take 9 hours, and we have another. Our week is rather interesting with guests we have for One Epstein. It's all DJ producer types. So we have Jermaine Dupri coming in next. I'm very interested to hear his story. So
Good dude.
we got to get through you though. So let's
Jermaine
jump.
Dupri might be one of the best producers ever.
Yeah?
Yeah, he might be because he's probably like the only one of the guys who got called super producer to actually make artists.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Usually somebody's making their records, like he's making the artist, like he's
The whole thing.
He's special.
yeah, no. So how did you start getting involved in the rap part of this?
Rap happened while we were DJing. Like it started to happen, and people started getting better. But like I decided I'm never gonna be a rapper.
You were a DJ, was it?
Yeah, that was it. The couple of times when I tried to be a rapper, all my friends were like, "Yo, you're a pretty good DJ." Okay, I guess you're telling me not to rap. Yeah, I'm good. I'm cool. So, I mean, but
So what rappers did you go to school with anyone who became a notable MC?
no, I didn't.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Brooklyn Tech for 1 year, and then I went to school upstate New York in Hoosick Falls.
Where's that?
Hoosick Falls is
How
8
far?
miles away from Vermont.
Whoa.
That far?
Yeah,
Why'd
That's
you go
so
up
far?
there?
Yeah.
circumstances.
Oh,
I was kind of smart, and the school recruited me. It was a school for gifted kids, but I was a terror at the same time. So I was a terror in New
In the
York.
public
So
school era?
so when they came and they recruited me, my mom's was like, "Oh yeah, take him because he's a terror, so he can go."
So you went up there.
That was
And I
high
took
school?
and I took a DJ.
It was like
set,
boarding?
absolutely. Yeah, it was a boarding
Boarding
school.
school?
Yes,
3
and I
years
played
you went?
every party in the area. I played every party. Every other school, Rensselaer, Troy, Albany, all of the schools in that area, every single party I played.
So you started making money off
Oh,
top.
absolutely. I was making money when I was like 13.
Wow. What were you charging for a gig back then? If someone wanted to get a good Clark
you have to
Kent,
understand, like
I just want
at
a
that
number.
time, $200 was a lot for a
Oh,
party.
well, I'm guessing you had to do nights that were less than $200.
100%.
Do you ever do a $35 night?
No, absolutely not.
Never did a $35 night.
Why'd
Syed?
you say that?
I'd rather not
You ever do a
do it.
$35 night?
Yeah, that's what Cap used to pay me in the Palladium.
That's probably what.
And piss it away. That's funny you say 35. I just saw Cap last night.
If he didn't spend your money on
Yeah.
booze,
Yeah,
then you get 35.
35 at the end of the night.
And that's a
That's
way
the-
later era. And that's a way later era.
Yeah, that's a later era. That's L.
Oh my god. So what was the lowest end you did? 50?
The lowest I did was free.
Oh, of course. So that doesn't count.
Yeah, that
Clark
definitely
is in
counts.
my
You gotta do freeze. Freeze happens still.
Clark is in my
Never do it free anymore?
Not unless it's a charity. situation.
Charity. What'd you say?
Clark is in my analogy of why the game sucks nowadays.
Oh, why?
Always. I don't know why. Because my analogy is There's no more going to a record shop and bumping into Kid Capri or Clark Kent and him telling you what records sound good with the record you're buying. I always say those two names.
Okay, well,
Because I always used to see him in a record shop.
in which record shop would you see him?
Mostly rock and soul, I think.
But just think about that. He can say that he always saw me in a record shop. That should tell you something about the nature of who I am as a DJ.
Do you think I didn't? Do you think our listeners didn't know that already?
Think we questioning it?
No, I'm just saying. Like,
I'm aware that you spend time in record stores.
There are people who don't understand digging in crates,
I know.
but they call themselves DJs.
Listen,
Are you talking about Paris Hilton?
Those days are over, though.
you don't diss Paris Hilton on this show.
Beep, 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 beep.
What does she do?
She's a
DJ.
DJ,
She's a DJ.
man.
No, she's Paris Hilton.
No,
Oh.
she has the essence.
Celebrity DJ.
Oh well, I'm a disc jockey then. If that's the case,
I know. Listen, it's unbearable. I agree. I go through. I've let go of it pretty well. I don't let it like hurt my life anymore. I can't. Like yesterday, someone brought up. They're like, CNN were here, and they're like, "Yo, do you remember DJs carrying crates?" I said, "I remember carrying turntables and the crates." Like, I try not to hold people to that standard because I know now you're going to meet kids who never have that experience, and many of which are just as pure.
Right.
Some of which, not many of which, some of which will still be the same version of what we were.
Right.
They just exist in this era.
Right.
It's just a shame that as a result of not having to work for it, you miss out. It's a funnel. It's a filter. It was a filter, right? Like, there was a kid in my school who was a friend of mine who I used to hate on sometimes, my friend Gabe Cohen. And I used to hate on him a little bit because he started DJing after me, right? And I thought he was a little bit of a dick rider, to be honest. But at the same time, as the years went on, I had to respect him because I'm like, you went out and you bought the turntables and you go to the fucking store every week. And like, I would get more of the parties and stuff and people knew I was doing it, but I'm like, Gabe's out there really doing it.
Think
like,
of how easy the kids have it now.
Now, oh my God, can you imagine if you're the one kid who, let's say you're Clark Kent Jr. and you're out there and your dad taught you about buying records and you're, oh, he is?
Yeah, Antonio,
Gotcha.
what up?
All right, well, he's too old for this story to be relevant. But you understand the point that I'm saying. If it was a child, right?
Yeah.
If he was like 13, and do you have a 13-year-old?
He's 14.
He's 15. He just
Well,
turned
through this
15.
glass, I thought he was 46 years
But
old.
let me give you something to really simply think about. My son, when he said he wanted to learn how to DJ, first thing I told him was go love music. I didn't tell him I'm going to physically teach you how to DJ. I'm going to tell you the thing that worked for me. If you want to learn and you want to be so-called as good as me, I want you to be better. That's one. But two, I want you to know how I became what I am. I love the music first. So I didn't teach him physically how to DJ. I taught him go understand and love the music. If you love the music, you don't have to technically be better than me, technical skill-wise, but you're going to end up better than me musically. And to me, if you know how to technically mix records, you can shit on another DJ who might technically be, top of the line DMC DJ. When you get in the club, if you play better music than him, he sucks.
But then when you get the combo of both, you get like
well, I come from that era. You got to know how to do it.
But you get the ones whose mixing is disgusting. A-Track's a good example, right? You find a guy who has the love of music and mixing.
Yeah. He's great.
He's disgusting. He's a DMC champion
Right.
who lives for the music.
Right.
So when you get but you're right. If you're someone who loves it and just loves the music, and it's funny, I never really thought about it until you said that.
Yeah.
I love music before DJing.
Do you love the music now, Clark?
I love music, period.
But you love the music you play.
No, I love the music, period.
Yeah, but there's a lot of terrible music coming out now.
Listen to what I'm about to say. And,
We're listening.
Listen to me now and hear me later.
And I have a feeling that you might be able to understand it. Being a guy who's produced records, at some point, I had to think to myself, even if I don't like a record, there was a reason why it was made. So I search for the reason in every record. It might not be a record for me, but I search for the reason. It might be a horrible reason, but I still search for the reasons, so I still end up loving the music. I might not love what's said. I might not love the melody. I might not love something, but I might find something in practically every record that I can appreciate it.
I have to be honest also, I do agree. This would come as a surprise to many people who know me. There's very little music I hate. Very little. Even the shit that I would be like, this is not me. Like Syph would laugh at, like, Rosenberg, you like this song. I still might like it. I just would never play it.
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of stuff that I like, a lot of stuff.
But I also listen to understand why it's not good. so that I don't make the mistake if I'm making a record or if I'm playing a record.
Is there a genre of music you don't generally fuck with that much?
No, I listen to everything. I'm a music historian. Like I'm 80,000 records in my house, like another 50,000 in storage. Like I'm really a
Where do you
record
live?
guy.
Jersey?
Nah, I live in a nice section of Brooklyn.
No, apparently so. It has room for 80,000 records. How do you have room for 80,000?
And then 80,000 sneakers too.
Wait, and the sneakers in your house too?
Yeah.
And how many sneakers do you have?
About 2,500. I gave away a
Oh, yeah.
lot. I gave
That is
away
a really
about
reasonable
3,500.
collection for Clark
I
Kent.
gave away about 3,500 pairs of sneakers.
You gave away more
at
than you
once
kept.
or throughout your years?
Like throughout a space of like 4 or 5 years, I gave away about 3,500 pairs.
You're a hoarder. You know that. You're a hoarder.
No, I'm not. I'm a guy who likes to be fresh. That's the big difference. I come from the era of being fresh. I don't come from the sneakerhead era.
2,500.
Right, but every day
That's
I'm
a good
fresh.
statement you just made.
I don't. I'm not a.
Which
I'm
one?
not.
Which one?
Come from the era of being fresh, not sneakerhead.
Right.
That's what I am.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I.
No,
come from.
that is true. You are like that.
I'm not a
You're not a
sneakerhead.
sneakerhead.
I just
Like,
love
you
new
know
Things
what-
that go with
sneakers.
things.
Yo,
and
you
look
know what's
good.
crazy? I've known Ronnie since he was like 15. He used to work at his uncle's store.
What store?
David Z. We used to walk in the store and buy 10 pairs.
What?
We used to walk in and buy 10 pair of Timberlands from him. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know later in life he's going to be the guy owning Kith and doing what he's doing. But he was in his sneaker shit then.
Right.
And it wasn't because he was a hoarder of sneakers. It was because he wanted to be fresh.
It was more of a footwear. It was more
Right.
of a footwear thing than a sneaker thing. Just
Right.
love footwear. You know, back then it was
Everything.
You remember that? Dolomites, A-Solos, Trezettas,
Dolomites. Oh my
Danners,
God, Ronnie.
Adam boots, Georgia boots, Red Wings, Clarks. It was more. It wasn't any. I mean, 90. You know, mid 90s. That
It
was
was
the
about
era.
being fresh.
I gotta
there
tell
was
you,
no
as-
term sneakerhead until there was websites.
I gotta tell you what, as annoying as it is sometimes to be a hip hop guy and like deal with the fake hip hop bullshit. Oh, I would hate to be you. This sneaker bullshit sneaker culture. I have to always separate myself because people be like, "Yo, you know we want to fuck with you because we know you're a sneakerhead." I'm like, "Dog, I post a pair of sneakers on Instagram every once in a while. I do nice work with Nike and I wear nice shoes. I am not a sneakerhead. That should be a term that I would imagine is when I think of, even though you're now kind of just separating the term from you. The term as it should be would mean someone like a Clark Kent, someone who's committed to the and you, Ronnie, people who love this, not just someone who's like, yeah, of course I like nice sneakers. I'm in hip hop. It's required. To show up, you have to have at least a decent pair. That's like just to show up. That's all I am. My family will be like, oh, Peter and his sneaker collection. I'm like, guys, I get embarrassed that you say I have a sneaker collection because I have 50 pairs of sneakers. I'm just someone who has to wear shoes out to events.
Nah, the whole concept and the whole sneakerhead term it's just been beaten to death. And
I remember when it happened. I remember the moment it happened. I was like, oh, this is annoying.
What was it? Was when shows started? It wasn't like the.
Nah, it was like,
You were on MTV.
no, it was before.
You was on MTV because I came there and I was wearing some. I was wearing cones and we started talking about sneakers and you was like, are you like a sneakerhead? And I was like, shit.
This
That's
is the
when
thing.
it first started because he was asking me about it
I
because he
remember,
couldn't
like-
really put together what the sneakerhead thing meant.
the whole thing is, I don't know. People that have passion for footwear, like I don't know what the real definition of a sneakerhead is. But if you're just passionate about footwear, like I like Clark Wallabies just as much as I like Nike Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
To me,
I
it's a
just,
whatever thing. It's
like,
these
real-
kids ruin it.
Real
for me.
deal. I just like to be
Some of the
fresh.
kids.
And if it just happens to be with a pair of sneakers, then that's just what it
But
is.
so to be fresh, having a limited pair makes it fresher.
No, not necessarily. Because what I'm wearing is not limited. They're just fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to have limited shit, so you can have limited
I
shit.
only
but
have
you
limited
can
shit
get,
that I would wear.
like, I've said this before, and I really, really mean it. I would trade every pair of sneakers I have if someone promised me a pair of white on whites for the rest of my life. I would give all of my shoes back to have a brand new pair of white on whites every day.
But you would
day.
need a brand new pair because of white on white.
No, it would have
That's
to
what
be
he's
a
saying.
brand
He's
new
saying a
pair every
lifetime-
day.
like every day.
If Nike said, we'll give you a lifetime supply of white on whites for the rest of your life, you will always have white on whites.
And at the end of the day, you'll chuck them and we'll give them to charity, and you'll give you a
can
new
do
pair the
whatever
next
you want
day.
with them after I wear them, but I want a brand new pair of white on whites for every day. You could take everything else I have because everybody has a favorite. You know what I'm saying? I think Ronnie's favorite is a black cement Jordan 3, right?
Or the whites.
Or the white cements. But just imagine if you told him, I give you a black and white cements for the rest of your life, I bet in his mind somewhere he'd be cool with giving everything else up.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that because I got to rock, come wintertime, I like rocking boots.
Yeah,
I like,
but I'm saying besides boots, I'm talking about sneakers.
Yeah.
You'd be good with wearing black cements or white cements every day. Like, I'd be good wearing white on whites every day. I'm comfortable with that. I'm not saying I'm like everybody else or he's that far gone. But my thing is, it's cool to have some cool shit, but it's way cooler for me to have some fresh shit.
That's
But yeah, having the I mean, I'm not a sneakerhead. I'm a record guy, but the rarities in records to me are so much more exciting.
Yeah.
Well,
That
okay,
to me is like
okay.
Well, it's
how
the
about
same
this?
concept.
How
Same
about this?
concept, right?
I'm way more into records than I'm into shoes.
Really
So that should give you
good.
an idea of where I'm really at.
Whew, okay, let's get back there.
Okay.
We got to get to where you can start connecting, not with just being a DJ around the way DJ, but where does it start changing for you and start becoming Clark Kent?
Oh, well, it stopped a long time. It stopped when I was like 15. Like, I started playing like clubs young.
And people started talking,
Yeah.
and the
My
word
name was out there.
you was out here.
I've done a couple.
What year was
Huh?
Clark Kent. That was
DJ
it.
Clark Kent. It was
what
out
year?
there.
What year
How
did
did that name come about, more importantly?
I wear glasses, and the kids around my way made
you
fun
knew
of
the
me.
answer to that question when you asked him?
I did not.
Really?
Yes,
Clark is not
really.
your name.
Oh, hell no.
Oh,
It's funny. I just thought about asking the question the second before you said I was going to do it. Then I went, he just took it from Superman. I was like, what's the story? Clark Kent's hot.
Now, the funny part is I didn't, and it was before. It was before I was 9 that the kids on my block made fun of me because I wore glasses. And they, you little Clark Kent motherfucker, little Clark
That
Kent.
was off a DC
Oh.
comics.
And
The
the
movie
funny
didn't even
part
drop
is-
yet.
Wow.
Like, I would always tell them I would come back and that name is going to fuck with you. I'm going to keep it. It's cool. You can call me that. I'm going to keep it. And I always believed I would haunt them with it. So, when I'm 15 and I'm playing the clubs that the older guys on the block can't get into, and I'm looking at them going, yeah, that's the flyer you saw. That's me.
DJ Clark Kent.
Yeah. Remember the jokes? Yeah. And when I pulled up on the block at 19 with the best car,
What car was it?
at
Something
that
fresh.
point, it was something fresh. It was something
Fresh.
fresh.
Thank you, Saif. I
But-
had a hunch
but-
that was
Yo, I want to know what car it was.
Yeah.
What do you mean it was something fresh?
That might have been a Jetta at that point, but like it was when all hustlers had Jettas.
It was
'Cause-
clean.
yeah.
the cleanest of the clean.
And what were the kicks back then, Clark? If you don't mind me asking.
When he was 19.
When he was 19, rolling up in the Jetta.
Yeah, I want to know what you hopping out with.
72.
Yeah, what did you hop out with? Good question.
But he said that's like 72. I was still on Airs. Filas. It was whatever like turned the corner. So like around my way, I was the first one with Filas. Why? Because they cost more than everything else. So I was like, I wanted those so that I could shit on everybody.
Right.
I wanted to be the freshest. I had Gucci sneakers in 84. 85 is when kids started really buying them. But I had them like a week after they came out because I found them by accident because I walked into the stores with no fear.
Gucci sneakers in 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old
But
school.
the reason I like the Gucci
I had
sneakers,
Ruse. in
the
84.
reason I like the Gucci sneakers is if you look at it, it's almost an Air Force One without a swoosh.
Yeah, it's timeless.
So I liked it. So I was like, oh, I'm wearing that shit. Even though it cost too much and it was dumb, I didn't care. I went around the block and no one knew what it was.
Just-
And I shit on everybody.
But did they have a name?
Gucci tennis. Giving nuts.
Okay, we're still not.
84.
Is that what it says? I mean, come on, he's flawless. So, you're right.
These are the sorry. These are the sneakers that Jay
Right, yes.
tried to copy when he had
with
the S dot.
Carters.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Gucci's.
So, you're popping around. You start doing clubs in Manhattan.
Yeah.
What clubs were you doing?
Funhouse, Roxy, Rooftop.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
All right, everything.
I played everywhere.
Okay. Who noticed you first?
Who noticed you?
Did Red check for you? Did
Red Alert is someone that I probably dedicate 75% of my career to. Because I was already being DJ Clark Kent, and I was opening for him in a lot of joints. But when he moved from Latin Quarters to Union Square, he brought me with him and was like, at 1 o'clock, you're going to go on that set off to the side. And it was the set that had a crossfader.
Live?
What do you mean off to the side? What do you
Like,
mean?
it was a big DJ booth, and off to the side, he had a DJ set up
Why?
so I could DJ on.
Oh, he didn't want you to use his set?
It's not that. It's just that it had a crossfader, and it would be actually for whoever was going to perform.
Oh, I see.
So he was like, You can use that set and just get busy. And at 1 o'clock, like
Why would he give up the main time slot?
I don't know.
Probably
Why
went
weren't
to, probably
you-
went
why
to get
did he
his
let you
probably went to go
open?
get his joint work done.
Well, all I know is this. I swear to God, like practically every time I see Red Alert, I thank him. And every time I get the chance, like I gave him an award at the DJ awards, the first DJ awards. I was given the ability to give him an award, and to me, I didn't even care about giving him the award more than I cared about being able to say thank you in front of the room of DJs so that I can understand, so they can understand how important he is to me. Like Red Alert was the most selfless person in the DJ world that I ever met. I thought Grandmaster Flowers was selfless, and I thought Pete DJ Jones was selfless, and then I thought, Larry Levan, what he said to me was selfless. But this guy was like, "Hey, do you think?" And like he tells the story like, "Yeah, I play him, Clark cut him," and I'm like, "How could you just tell the story that easily?" Like, no, you practically turned my career on 1,000 from 500. Like I was at 500. I'm on my way, and he goes, "Nah, you're there." You know what I'm saying?
That'll do it.
Like I'll thank him every day if I could.
So
There's nothing he couldn't ask me for. Not him. He could ask me for anything.
anything?
Pause.
All right. Well,
You know
you
what
knew
I'm
where I was
saying.
going next.
I didn't know where you were going.
Hand relief. If his hands were injured and he needed to ejaculate,
What are you
Oh, he
talking
would-
Clark
about?
Kent service him.
All right. Let's say he did need that.
Nah, I'd get him somebody.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get him. You get him
Yes,
a
I would-
nice lady
yes,
the other night.
Yes,
Lady of the night to
No problem.
No
Quickly.
issues. Absolutely.
no matter what city he's in. Even if he's
I don't
in
care where he's at. If Red
Atlanta,
Alert,
if he's in Atlanta, you're gonna
listen, here's a public statement. Red Alert needs something from me. Red Alert got it.
Does he ever ask?
No, that's what even makes it more amazing. Like if it could be anything. Like he could get a free party 5 minutes from now. Y'all need you to bet. I need you to bet. How could I tell somebody that gave of himself that much to me? No, I can't. Like he's that important to me.
What if he wanted you to send your son to work on his building for 5 years?
Nah, that's different. That's my son. I can't give my son up for my work.
All right. Well, I just wanted to check. I just want to see what the limits. So this way, Red knows where the limitations are when he's asking you. All right. So Red notices. Get us to where, like the.
I'm not gonna get there, man.
I'm going to. I'm gonna
What
get
are you
there.
trying to
Well, how about
get
this?
to?
How about this, Syph?
He's trying to get the J and big.
No,
at
no.
least.
But like, tell me this. What was the first way you heard of him, of Clark Kent?
On the radio.
WBLS. Probably.
Okay, there we go. Let's get to
Cutting.
that. For example,
Every song.
bringing it back. Every song. Double it up.
No,
Dip, 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 dip.
There wasn't one song I just played, yo.
No way. In that era?
Yo, the kids need to hear Clark Kent on the radio these days. He needs to bring it back to the 90s, man.
But you on BLS, right?
I was on BLS.
After
but before
Pete?
that, nah, I was on Fridays. He was on Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
But before
never
that,
on
though,
Kiss?
I was on KCR.
Are you on KCR too?
I was on KCR before Bobito, before everybody. I was like the first hip hop DJ on KCR.
That sucks that we can't experience that today, though. What about for the kids that know you? They don't really know.
This guy got a side mission. Wait, you trying to
Nah,
open a
that's
radio
no side
station?
mission. I'm serious. I'm a fan.
Radio?
I'm a
Welcome to
fan.
KITH.
If
Yeah, you
I
can
had
do
Kids
that.
Radio, Clark will be on it. I'm just saying.
Thank you. That's an honor. I appreciate it.
Nah, the kids need to. The kids. I feel like the music these days is.
I can't tell you the level of kids not caring about
What
what
DJs
Clark
do?
would do back then. The level of people not caring is
Right.
just, it's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking, but the good part is that
Clark's rich.
if I play in front of them, they care.
They'll
they
fuck.
give a fuck. They were like, "Oh, that's who he is."
Right, if they're in the club.
You know what I'm saying? If they're in a club, they go, "Oh,
Yeah, they're not
that's who
programmed
he
to
is."
care about it on the radio anymore. And
They
guess
don't
whose
have-
fault that
Not
is?
just radio, clubs too. Like,
You know what? That's true.
you got to put it
That's true.
fucking
They just want
down.
Well, Clark Kent will do that. DJ Clark Kent will do that.
That goes without question.
So how? All right, I'm not going to ask you about how you got on BLS. We don't need. Do we need to know that? No. Let's get past that. The first way that I
Wait, was it Marley though?
Molly, yeah.
Okay.
Marley gave you the look. So Red gave you a look, and Marley gave you a look.
Yeah.
God, you've gotten some good cosigns in your life.
How did Red feel about that?
I don't think he cared at all.
You were never on Kiss,
No, we played clubs together still.
right?
Even
know
when
what
you
I'm
were on
saying?
BLS.
Me and Red Alert played clubs together when I was on BLS.
Wow.
What people don't really know is the radio war was just like propaganda. You know what I'm saying? It's what you believed it was. But that was my guy. There was no talking bad about Red when I'm on the radio. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You better not talk bad about Red, because that's my guy. I don't give a fuck what station I'm on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Molly, and you know the KRS One and MC Shan shit was show shit. They went on tour together. So no matter what, you can't. You're not allowed to speak bad about Red Alert in front of me. Like, it just, I wouldn't be able to understand that.
What year are we speaking here?
Long time ago, early
Wait,
80s.
radio?
Early
No,
80s.
it's not early 80s.
It's mid 80s.
Yeah, it's like 87.
He was on BLS on what 80? What? 87?
I was on BLS with
No.
Molly Ma in Control. As soon as Molly Ma went to Molly Ma in Control, it was me, Kevy Kev, and Pete Rock.
Oh, so
90s? No,
no,
before
that was-
90s.
no,
80s,
it's
yeah.
like late 80s, 87, 88.
Okay.
So the first thing I heard of from Clark Kent that I think I can really consciously remember, like seeing credit, was Jay,
Oh, there was a lot before that.
our original flavor.
There was a lot before that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just telling you guys, you can't tell me what my memories were.
No.
Oh, you remember you
I'm
was
just
in
saying
it?
there
Well, tell me
was
what
a
You
was
didn't
lot.
hear him on
before
the
that.
radio?
What'd you say?
You didn't hear him on
No.
You know nothing on the radio.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I know Marley and Pete. I know Marley and
You only know
Red
Pete 'cause
and
he
Chuck
told you.
Chill Out. No, Pete I only knew from filling in when Pete would hold it down for.
But you didn't
Marley.
know Clark on there. How long were you on BLS?
I might, but I just don't have cognizant
that was
memories
long
of it.
as We did Molly and
I was
Control.
6,
I was there.
so
Yeah, I might have. There might be tapes of it that exist, but it's not a cognizant memory for me. So, what was the first thing on Wax that people would know of when you're saying this goes way before Jay and
Troop, Spread My Wings.
Troop? The remix for Spread My Wings
Yeah.
Okay.
The version that people heard.
that people know.
That people heard. Yeah. And the one they made the video for. Yeah.
You did the beat?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's your first credit.
Yeah.
And did pretty well.
Yeah.
Got you
Gold
popping.
single.
Spread
Gold
my
single.
wings.
Did it
Gold-
sound that good?
Gold single and automatic. You work in a record company.
You got an automatic job from that.
Yeah.
Where?
First it was Epic, working for Hank Caldwell. Timmy Regisford. Me, Timmy, and Merlin were all friends. We played a bunch of clubs together. And Timmy calls me up. He's like, "Yeah, go over to Epic and work for Hank Caldwell." So I go. 4 days later, he goes, "Nah, I quit. Go over and work with Merlin over at Atlantic and East West." So I'm just like, "Wait, I just got over here." Like, I didn't know the music business game then. So he was just like, "Just do it." So I went over and I worked with Merlin and Sylvia. And I worked on a lot of records.
On a lot of records.
A lot.
What did you work on? What were your next credits? What were some of the credits over that time?
I remixed practically every single that came out off of the label. Practically every single. Like Top Billin', I remixed that. Like every single that came out, I remixed or A&R records from everything. Das Effects, MC Light, Yo-Yo, Michelle A, In Vogue, like Glenn Jones, Rude Boys, Levert,
Everything.
everything.
Getting credit for all of it?
My nigga, I found that Rude Boys record in my house
My kind of girl?
with Jay on it,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
doesn't say Jay's on it.
Nah.
I brought that up to Jay. I played it for him. He was like, "What the fuck is this?"
You know what's crazy is that
I don't even know that record.
I'll play it for you.
what's crazy is how many records at that time that I put Jay on, because I wanted people to understand, like I thought he was the guy. You know what I'm saying? And people were just like, "Who's this dude?" And I'm just like, "Listen." And a remix would come out and it would he'd be on it and they'd be like, "Yo, who the fuck is that?" I'm like, "I told you."
And were you the one who got him on all those things? Like everything early?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big responsibility.
Wait, who's the? I just fuck. We just interviewed somebody. We couldn't name the other member of the first original flavor.
Oh, T Strong. No,
the guy who
So
left.
Suave.
What?
Suave.
Suave, and then he left and got replaced by.
T Strong.
Oh yeah.
This is crazy.
When was this conversation?
Was it not on here?
No. I don't think so.
Maybe it was on my improv show. Why would I be having that conversation?
All right, let's hear Syph. Let's hear this.
What girl? What song?
This is
Boys?
Rude Boy?
My kind of girl.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see if you.
We got a verse on
Yeah, my kind of girl. Yeah.
like 20 remixes I did. Yo, you know what's crazy? About a year ago, Mr. C played that when he was doing the old school of noon.
For Jay, or was he doing?
He just played it out of nowhere.
It was the deep cover bass line. So far, there's like 9 samples.
There he is.
I'll give it a go.
One of a no, one of a kind.
More samples. Yo, anyone? Yo, when is DOS Effects coming back and just taking a shit on Jay-Z for biting their whole style early on?
Didn't.
You really don't think so? He was out first.
Jay was way before.
He was talking that.
Originators. Originators is way before that.
And was he doing that? He does the iggity on that.
Yeah, like just go back to Originators.
Damn, why are you trying to shit on Hov, son?
I love Hova. I love Hova. When I hear that, all you think is DOS Effects really did that style well and suited them nicely.
They didn't invent it.
I mean, let's be honest. Jay didn't ring when he was doing that style.
That's not the point, though.
No. But I'm saying. No. You're saying what you guys are saying is that DOS Effects essentially jacked Jay-Z.
Oh,
is that what you're saying, Clark Kent?
No, I'm just saying that they were doing it like light years before you heard of DOS Effects.
Yeah, I mean, the Jazzo record came out in what, 88?
No, 80, damn near 85.
No.
The Originators?
The first record with...
You Google damn near everything. Google the Originators.
That song you're saying came out that early?
It was a long time ago.
So...
Regardless of what, it was before.
DOS.
Like enough before for you to not be able to say that Jay jacked anybody's style.
Yeah, no, you're right. Even but to be honest, even when he was doing it on Can I Get Open, it was practically contemporary with DOS Effects within a year of it. So,
ding, ding.
So at that point, did you ever roll with Jay officially, or were you just looking out because he was your man and you thought he was dope?
We were friends.
And you just wanted...
How long before? Like way before?
I've known him since
the Kane days and before Kane?
Since way before Kane, since Jazzo. Jazzo introduced me to him in the middle of Mossy Park. In the middle of Mossy.
Weird Brooklyn. Those Brooklyn people, they really connect. They know everyone knows everyone.
Everyone knows everyone.
Everyone knows someone.
Oh.
Too much.
How did you meet Jazzo?
Fresh Gordon. Me and Fresh Gordon were both part of a crew called the Idol Makers. That was Herbie Lovebug's crew. And I was Dana Dane's DJ, and Dana Dane was one of the Idol Makers.
Well, let's talk about Dana Dane's accent.
Jesus Christ.
Was that real?
No.
Made up.
Yeah. Dana Dane's from Fort Greene.
I thought he was actually... Did you...
Fort Greene, England.
Nightmares!
Where are we going with this?
Yo, he really made that up?
Yeah. He was in a crew called the Kango Crew. Everybody in the Kango Crew rapped the same way. Slick Rick, Lance, and Omega.
But Slick Rick was the only one who was legit.
Yeah, he's from London.
And everyone else was making it up.
Yeah.
Hey, Ricky, come here. You mind if we rap like you?
We love how you sound. It sounds so good. It's like, all right, no problem. Just sound like me then, mate.
It was their thing, yo. It was their thing.
Yo, that sounds...
Rich, come here. I like to be called Rick. Hey, you mind if we sound like you're right?
We just want to copy your voice. That's so crazy. All right, so who else I'm writing? I got to go with Dana Dane, too. Dana Dane's got to catch it. Everyone goes to Rick Ross.
You were friends with Jay before.
Yeah. And when I first got my record job, I wanted to sign him immediately. Like he get the job. The next day, I was like, I got to sign Jay-Z.
He didn't want to do it?
Nah, it's not that. I'm
saying, like, you know how he always says, like, he was in the streets more.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't in 100% into the music like you were, right?
Let me say, this is what happened. I got the job. The next day, the only people I wanted to sign was Jazz and Jay, because they used to rhyme together. We did shows together. That's all. I wanted them to have a record deal.
Yeah.
So I called Jazz. Where's Jay? Jay's in Virginia. Okay, got to find Jay. Jay's, where's he at? Can't find Jay. So, cool. I'm doing my best to find Jay. I find him, and then we start making records. And I'm like, this is who I want to sign. And they're like, no. So, time goes by. I'm still like, this is who I want to sign. Yeah. We sign whatever else we're going to sign up the label. It doesn't matter. I'm still like, this is who I want to sign. Mm-hmm. In the midst of all of this, Akinelli is in a bidding war between Atlantic and Interscope. I lose the bidding war to Interscope. In the middle of this, he brings Nas. And I'm like, yeah, no. Akinelli brings Nas. And I'm like, shit, I want to sign this dude too. He just snuffed Jesus. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, where's the demo? And Nas goes, we don't have no demo. So I'm just like, fuck, I can't sign you. I was like, yo, even when we signed DOS Effects, they had to have a demo. They came with an album done. And he took it like, oh, you signed DOS Effects, so you can't sign Nas. I'm like, no, you don't have a demo, so I can't sign you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that. Even when I did demos on Jay, they wouldn't let me sign them. They didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So the actual reason I quit Atlantic and East West was because
This nigga R. Kennedy was on Interscope.
yeah, but he was
Green label.
I didn't remember that.
Old
he
one.
was supposed to be on
The Vagina Diner.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Vagina
Akahan, the bomb, all that's on Interscope. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What was the second album on?
No, I'll tell you.
Capital.
I was gonna say that.
It was.
Yeah.
That record looked weird though.
It was-
The actual EP record looked weird. Yo, I think Jermaine Dupri's here in the waiting room. Should we just get a little Jermaine Dupri and Clark Kent running crossover for a second?
We got nowhere with Clark.
We not Biggie hasn't been mentioned.
Who?
Notorious B.I.G.
Ever say who when you say Biggie?
Because we haven't even got to it yet.
I'm saying just don't ever say
not
who
in
when
your
you say
life.
Biggie.
Yo, you know what? Fuck off, Clark.
He's allowed to say what he
I'm
wants.
gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna say it because you just reminded me. I wanted a DJ in New York when I was on the road with Lil' Kim, but when I came to New York, Clark's DJing.
Oh.
Fuck out of here, man.
Is that
You
why
took my shine.
Is that why you give me the shady hello every time I see you?
Yep. That's why you got.
Westbury Music Fair.
Damn, is that why I get the shady what's up?
9-6.
That's why I get the shady what's
You
up.
guys continue work out your beef. I'll be right back.
Yo, son. Come on, though. That's the worst feeling.
No, I get it. I understand.
No, I understand now. Because I do it to people now.
Well, you
But-
have to understand, it wasn't me doing it to you.
No, I know,
It was,
I know,
it was
I
them, you know. Like, you
I
have to
know, I got
understand, they were like
fucking-
my kids. You
Oh,
know what I'm
my
saying?
God.
They were like my kids.
That shit
so-
hurt, yo.
I
I wouldn't even go to the
apologize.
shows. Nah, that's not you.
What's the best era? What was the best era for hip hop in your opinion?
Yo, come on. No, I'm sorry.
No, the year, just the year. Hold
I
on.
know, but you
9-3.
can't, you can't tell me to hold on my own podcast and make up random
9-3.
questions. That is a random. This is our last minute with him.
There's probably two answers
I
for
just
that.
wanna know, you in the
I
middle
would
of it.
say the 80s, one, because it was the most creative era, but the 90s, two, because it was the most financially turnaround era.
That was okay. See what your question got you? The worst answer in history. What was the best era? The 80s, the 90s. Okay.
Hey, you think?
You think I like the 80s and the 90s? They were tremendous.
Well, you asked me.
Okay,
was
what
the
are we gonna
best
do
era.
though? What do we do about? Can you tell us one thing about Biggie? We're gonna have you back, obviously, for a whole nother thing.
You always say that, never bring people back.
But Clark, I really would bring back though. I actually see Clark from here. We actually see him as a regular guy. He's around. You see him. What's one thing you could tell us about Biggie before you go? That maybe you've never shared before, or just something.
We were on tour.
Jim.
We were on tour, and I kept letting them hear.
Clark Kent, one time. Sorry, keep going.
That's where you're gonna go with that, huh?
Sorry, no, keep going.
You know what's crazy?
No,
That
don't.
Oh, okay. We're on tour, and I'm consistently playing Jay for him, and he's like, all right, he's good.
For big.
Yeah, but he's not conceding. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, all right, Clark, he's good. And then Un would call him and be like, yo, that president shit is crazy, big. He listened to it. Yo, your man's nice. And we got to that. But we didn't get to he's the illest, right? Now, you're riding around with the dude that you feel is one of the best you'll ever hear, telling him,
About another one.
my dude is the illest, respectfully. But he's my guy. So what you believe is going to be what you believe. But now the whole Junior Mafia are like, we want to kill Clark.
And
Why?
they're like,
Because
they're
you're
like-
forcing. Because you're
No,
forcing.
because I'm trying to make them understand, yeah, I know he's nice, but my man is. And they're all going, yo, what kind of disrespectful shit are you on? So cool. We're on our way back to New York, and Big has to go to the studio. And he says, yo, I'm going to go do a second verse on Who Shot You. When I come back, you're going to say I'm the best. Right?
Shit.
So he goes, for people who don't know, Who Shot You, that first verse was always there.
Yeah,
it was
from-
on a record
from-
with Keith Murray, and it was on Mary J. Blige's interlude, but you didn't get to hear Big's verse. So that verse,
Hey, you have
he
the Keith
said,
Murray version?
Hmm?
You have the Keith Murray version?
Kinda.
Could we have it? I just want it for my collection. I won't play it.
Wow, that's going to find that. But regardless, so we go back, like 2 days later, we're back and we're at the airport and we're about to leave. And he goes, yo, nah. We ain't getting on the plane. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, I got to play this for you. They bring out the radio and he plays Who shot you? I'm like, yeah, I know that. He goes, no. You gonna say I'm the hardest rapper out? I said, no, you're definitely, pause, the hardest rapper out. He's like, nah, but you're gonna say I'm iller than your man. And I was like, dog, I give you that you're like amazing to me.
But you could not concede that he was better than Jay.
But then he's like, listen to this, and he plays Who Shot You from
it's
beginning to
his
end.
friend versus his son. You got to see where it's at. Jay's his friend, Big's his son. See what I'm saying?
But I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, fuck, he really meant that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling him, I was like, yo, you know what? And that's when I figured out rapper MC. Like, remember how I tried to explain to you the difference between rapper and MC? That day is when I figured it out. I said, yo, for real, you said your rhymes better than anybody I've ever heard say their rhymes. And he was like, the fuck are you talking about? So I'm the best. I was like, no, you're the best rapper I've ever heard. And he was like, so what does that make your man? I said, my man's the best MC I've ever heard. He was like, what the fuck is the difference?
See, but you gotta
No, but like Junior Mafia, we're all in an airport, and now shit is heated. These dudes are mad. They're like, what the fuck, man? Fuck this nigga, man. Leave this nigga home. Like, now I can't go on the road because they're like, fuck him. And I was like, no, you say your rhymes better than anyone I've ever heard. He says the best rhymes I've ever heard. And he was like, but am I the hardest? And I was like, absolutely.
You got it.
So
you got it.
then I walked away from it, and then I was like, okay, yeah, you can get on the plane now.
Yo, you know what? We forced a story, and he gave us a good story. Have you told it somewhere else before?
No.
Honestly, you
No.
can bring him in. We got. I know we have another legend outside.
Fuck
Otherwise, I would never rush. Except that we have another, and there he is.
You know the. You
oh
know
no, it's
the,
random letters.
You know the Jay story. Listening to Who Shot Ya. That's like what made Jay like. Not made Jay. That's crazy.
But that made him take Big on a think of Big even
I
differently.
think he like. What song did he come up?
He had immense respect for Big.
No, but he says like. I think he always tells the story of how Biggs, not Biggie,
Biggs, yeah.
was like, you need to listen to this
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
And they, for hours in a car, just listening to it and like, fuck, I need to do some shit.
I need to work really hard.
No, what really happened at that point was he could actually see what everybody was talking about.
Yo,
How you doing?
guys, what's happening? Sorry for the delay, man. We're wrapping up with the legendary Clark Kent. What up?
What up?
Ronnie.
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What up, man? Thanks for coming, bro.
How you?
Yo, so on that note,
Yep.
Clark, we love you. We thank you so much for coming in. Ronnie, good looking out. September 21st, Westchester. We'll be in touch to do this again.
Okay, cool.
We appreciate you, man.
It's all good.